Welcome back to another episode of Getting Creative With, the show where AADL staff engage with an arbitrarily chosen topic to stay playful, inspired, and as the name suggests, creative. My name is Ksenia, and with me today are AADL staff members Stephanie, Heidi, Jenny, and Marianne. And this week's theme was stuck, the past tense form of stick, which is a noun or a verb. So I am up first, actually, now that I look at the list. And I made something super simple and something that made me very happy on this very dreary day. It is presently like 33 degrees here and rain snowing. So I took out my stash of pressed flowers. And when I think of the word stuck, I think of being trapped or something sticky or something that's caught. So what I did was make a bookmark by trapping some pressed flowers in some wax paper, which made a really, really good seal. And I outlined the wax paper with some craft paper, just using regular old glue. And I stuck it onto some parchment paper and sewed, and here's a little rustic stitching, sewed some muslin yarn, I guess, or ribbon onto it to make something very pretty that made me very happy on this really just gross sort of blah day. But no glue for the flowers, and the wax paper sealed like a gem. So it was great. But whoop, there it is.
So the pressed flowers, did you press those yourself and just have them stashed away?
Yeah, I have them stashed away literally for rainy days.
Nice.
And on a day like today, it was really good to get them out and to be reminded that, hey, colors exist.
Yes.
Something super simple. But yeah, it was straightforward, and I love how accessible it was. I didn't need I sewed the ribbon on, but otherwise it was really just accessible. Like wax paper is pretty easy to come by, and that was all there was to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Apart from I had to use an iron. That was the other thing. I used an iron when I sandwiched the wax paper between two pieces of paper towels and just went a couple of times over on the highest setting, and that sealed it. So yeah, better than a laminating machine. All right, so that made me super happy. But Steph, what did you stick yourself with, if you don't mind the pun? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with something for the longest time. And so I'll just show you what I came up with. It's kind of big.
Ooh.
So sort of a giant birthday card.
Uh-huh.
And so what I did was I just did a quick line drawing of a birthday cake, and then I took my handy glue gun and drew the outline of that, and then just stuck some tissue paper on top and colored over it with some marker, and then did more hot glue and more coloring on top of the hot glue. So handy glue gun. Both my husband and I have birthdays coming up in the next month, so I was kind of thinking about birthdays, even though we don't really give each other cards so much, but yeah, that's what I did.
That's fun. It's so free. I love it.
Yeah, I liked doing it because I feel like when I do craft sometimes I'm like, it has to be perfect, and this was like, just throw some stuff on there and play as you go. It was really nice to do.
Nice.
Steph, can you hold it up again? I just wanted to see the colors of the cake.
It was just tissue paper that I had around, so pink, yellow, blue, and purple.
Yeah, they're really nice together.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it really blended really, really well. And yeah, just improvisational crafting. It's awesome.
I did some drawing on the candles there to do the yellow. It shows up too well.
What prompted the size of the card is my question.
That's a good question.
Well, I didn't have an idea, and I went to Staples, and I was like, I don't know, but it's got to have hot glue. So I picked up hot glue and was like, well, what can the hot glue go on? And it was $1.99 for poster board. So
Nice.
very impromptu.
Mm-hmm. That's super cool. It reminds me of those of ink and watercolor paintings and drawings, like when you create just like a blobby shape, like a really free shape, and then you fill in the details with an ink pen. I love doing those because I get really caught up in details as well. I'm like, making lines perfect, but it's just nice to have, like, it's a gesture drawing basically, but with tissue paper. That's super fun.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, happy birthday. Happy early birthday too.
Yeah, thanks.
And Heidi, hey. What did you come up with this week?
All right. So I was thinking about stuck and getting stuck by pins, I guess. I don't know. So, not that I get stuck by pins. Anyway, I don't know. I just somehow, and I was thinking as I was working on my dress from the Worn episode where I was working on that embroidery, and having to have my embroidery scissors and just like all these little parts, right? And I carry it in a bag, but I just thought, I really want to have something to carry my scissors and my needle, so it's like in one place and I don't lose it. So that began my journey of making this little pouch, and it is held together with just a couple of hair ties around these buttons. And so then you unbutton it and lift up the flap. And so I can put my needles here, and then in this little pouch, I have my scissors. So that way I can carry them and they won't be poking my work or poking my embroidery bag or, whatever I'm carrying it in. So, and I went a little overboard with decorating it because I recently did an embroidery program and I was just like, I want to play with my stitches. And then I made this cute little kitty to greet me when I work. So, and then I also made another like needle book because I started making this, and of course I didn't do it the right way because it's unplanned. I didn't have a pattern. So I wanted to figure out how to use what I had started with. So I made a little needle book, and this was a mushroom ornament that I ended up never making into an ornament. So I just kind of stuck it on the front there, and I made this little book. So it's got little pages so I can put multiple needles. Some people, when they work in embroidery and you have multiple colors, they'll thread multiple needles so you don't have to keep threading them. So you just have them ready. So, or I could also, just store my needles, just have them somewhere where I know where they are. And again, it just has that little kind of button closure. So yeah. And I just love it. It's just this puffy, cozy little thing. And I love the colors. And I kind of screwed up when I cut the pages to fit inside, but nobody needs to know, even though I just told you. So that's stuck. So I have something to stick my pins in, and they will be stuck there forever. And then I'll lose this and I won't know where my needles are, but that's another story.
They're great. I love them. How did you get the hair tie to stay? Did you just sew over it or what?
I sewed over it on the inside, and then sewed, and then again I sewed the two pieces together. It's very similar to, there's a program I did for making coffee sleeve, and it just has a button. So it's like, I don't know how to show you, but yeah, it's just in between the layers, you just sew it.
And so
okay. Yeah.
And same with the pin thing, the second thing you made?
Yes. Yep. Same thing. So it's just kind of like in between the two layers. It's kind of in there. I don't know if this one you can see. I tried to hide the stitching. Like, why? It's not like it's being sold or going to be in a museum. This one here, you can see maybe like right there, the stitching.
Okay. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Those are really lovely, Heidi.
They are. Yeah. Your embroidery is beautiful.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun. It's funny too, because you're doing it, and some of it looked, I don't have a better word for it, but it looked janky to me. But then once it was all complete, I was like, yeah, you look at it from afar and it looks good. Again, it's like, why do I have to like over scrutinize how it? It's just for me.
You're not making some official product that you're selling, so.
You know, and not that I don't deserve for it to be nice, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, let it go, right?
There's definitely a line there. Like, I like to make things look nice, even if it's just for me, but it is also freeing to just be like, it doesn't matter too much.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't do it perfectly, it can bug you after a while if you have it all the time. And then you end up ripping it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta find that happy medium there.
Well, I know that this program has taught me a lot about freedom and imperfection and improvisations. That's been super fun for me to do. And it's so functional and whimsical, and I love it. It's just, it's why, so, okay. Why the mushroom? Did you have like an idea for a particular design, or, I mean, you said you had an ornament, but.
Oh no, yeah, I saw this once, I think probably on Pinterest or something like that. And the blogger offered the pattern for free. And I started making it, and I realized I wasn't making it the right size to get all the detail. I don't know, not that it mattered. Obviously it works, right? But it's meant to be a much larger piece because you do a lot of more detail embroidery on it. So I had this kind of scrap mushroom laying around, and I thought, well, that's why we keep things laying around, so we can use it for some obscure project.
Yeah. I just like the idea of you having scrap mushrooms around. Like, that's, you know, I have scrap paper, but you have scrap mushrooms.
Yeah.
And so the front of the mushroom, the cap, is that embroidery as well, or are those little pinheads?
Oh, those are French knots. So that's embroidery.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah, speckled little toadstool kind of thing, I guess. So.
I love it.
Is there a door on there, like a house?
Yes.
Yes. So it's kind of like the mushrooms that the Smurfs live in.
There you. Yep. Yes. Yep.
That's adorable.
There's even a little window. So yeah. It's cute.
Very, very sweet. Oh my gosh, I love it. I was sewing something earlier today, and I just like keep my needles in a jumble because I haven't found my pin cushion since we moved. So I opened the little sewing compartment drawer, and like they spilled onto my lap. I'm like, oh, this is thematically appropriate, you know?
Yeah, I get worried with the cats. Like, I don't want them to accidentally duck in their paw, you know, or so every time I drop a needle, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, you're on alert. Really, I should get like a big magnet because that happens too often. But yeah. So anyway, I thought if I had them and I could stick it in somewhere, especially when you're like in between, you know, you're tying off a thread and you're not using the needle, and I'm like, stick it in the arm of my chair, and I'll be like, where did it go? You know?
Yeah.
So now it'll be somewhere. Right. I can't believe I waited all these years. I mean, I'm so thank you for the program, because I finally made what I needed.
Yay, function. Cool. Thank you for that. And now I need to go make something for my own needles because don't want them in my lap anymore. So thank you for that. All right, Jenny. Hey.
Hey.
How's it going? What have you done today?
So when I heard stuck, my brain immediately went to resin, like, because I mean, it literally just sticks and holds. And it was closer to Halloween then. So one of the molds that I was able to get a hold of very easily was of skulls. So I have made a bunch of tiny little resin skulls. And my idea is not complete, but I'm going to make a wreath and then put this like basically as an ornament instead of jingle bells or something, little red and green skulls. I also tried last night, here's the thing is, I don't know how this has worked out yet. I'm gonna open it right now and find out.
Oh, man. Those are always fun.
Oh, it's not fully cured. That's not. I'll just take one out and then I'll leave the rest in there. Oh, it's
Live
all
recordings, man.
connected. There we go. I made little paw pad keys for a keyboard.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Wow.
So I am gonna have to clean this off a lot, but I got these molds to make these like different types of keys for keyboards, because I've been doing that more recently with my gaming keyboard. And you can see I even had like the piece so that it's got the relief in there so you can plug it into the thing. I probably should have let this dry longer. But so I also had in my head the idea of sticky keys. Like whenever I am playing a video game and I hit shift 5 times in a row, it activates sticky keys. So when I hear stuck, my brain, being a dork, thinks of sticky.
Wow, that is really cool. How does the the resin key fit, or like how does it feel on your, oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, so this one got a double dip because I had extra of the green when I was making the paw pad keys, and I had made these skulls a couple weeks ago, so I grabbed one and I was like, okay, I'll put green over the red one and it'll make the eyes and nose pop.
Nice. So are the keys comfortable for your fingers then? Like just the resin?
Yeah, it's basically just an oddly shaped key. It's the same like feel of the official ones. But yeah, it's just like a little paw pad.
That's adorable.
I don't know how well it's gonna show up on there. But and I mixed in, I bought mica powder. You can get different colors of mica powder and mix it in with the resin. And it's literally just the resin, the hardening solution, mix that together, and then add in the mica powder. And I also bought Nomo glitter, which is vegan glitter, and started mixing that in too. So these paw pads have like a big collection of like golden flakes in the palm.
Nice.
Okay, so have you played with resin before? This is like one thing I've never even touched yet. So
Yeah, this is
That's
my
what I
first
was
time.
thinking. Yeah. Do you
I've
use
really
mold
been
every
wanting to.
time?
So one thing I tried last night and it has mixed results. It's nothing. It's not good. I tried making a coaster. But I took one of the coasters that I actually had from doing the printing press program, and that had like a Japanese crest printed on there. And I just put electrical tape around the sides and I poured in the resin on top. And it mostly worked, except it's kind of deformed, but.
I think, Ksenia, last week was it Jane that was working with resin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
oops.
No, it's completely different, but it's 2 weeks in a row I've heard about resin. I've never worked with it or really known what it's all about. So
Yeah. And
So, yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. I was just going to say, when you're doing it,
excitement.
when you're doing it, you have to have enough of the hardening solution mixed with it. It has to be 1-to-1 perfect. So some of these things, like this skull, it didn't have enough of the hardening solution when I did this batch. So its forehead is like soft and sticky, which is not ideal for this kind of craft. So yeah, you have to make sure that you get the mix right.
Yeah.
Can you oh, I'm sorry, Ksenia, you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Zoom meetings. Yeah, it's just there are so many different crazy uses for resin. I was just going to comment that, yeah, Jane did a resin project last week, but it was entirely different from project here. And I've done like resin table pours, for instance, right? And that's just something there. It's just the possibilities are really incredible, like for preservation, for decoration purposes. So, wow, keyboard pads. Would not have thought of that. That's amazing. Yeah.
I was gonna say, could you maybe talk more about vegan glitter? Because I'm expecting a lot of people don't know what that means.
So even though I'm already making stuff out of resin, and this stuff is already, I'm not entirely sure what, it's epoxy, so I'm guessing it's plastic. But so I probably could have used regular glitter, but I had wanted to buy vegan glitter because the little bits of actual glitter end up getting eaten by fish and end up everywhere and in everything, and I want to try and cut down on that.
Yeah, right on.
Nice.
So it's glitter. It looks exactly like normal glitter, but it's biodegradable.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what it's made out of?
I can't remember, but they're very vocal about it because that's the branding is.
Yeah.
Isn't it made out of seaweed? I feel like I've heard that before.
That sounds familiar. So
Not
probably.
positive though.
Actually, I'm gonna Google it now.
Nice. Yeah, because I mean, like I've made glitter out of salt and then out of sugar and other stuff like that, but you know, they melt or they attract insects. So I'm on the lookout for glitter that doesn't, you know, last for a million years.
They have a Facebook page, it looks like, and they immediately tried messaging me. So I'm gonna close that.
I know that there is edible glitter as well. And so that must be biodegradable.
I would assume, I would hope.
Positive what that's made out of.
Yep. You can also just get gold leaf and cut it into tiny pieces. That's, you know, natural.
Yeah. A bit pricier.
Have gold leaf covered keyboard keys. How elegant.
So now you got me thinking. One reason I wanted to make keyboard caps was because I got into customizing my keyboard a couple months ago and discovered how expensive people sell them for. Mm-hmm. So these like paw pad ones, people are selling them for like, anywhere from $8 to $20 each for this tiny piece of plastic. I bought one keycap that has like a symbol on it for a video game that I play, and that cost me $20. There was one I really wanted that I'm going to attempt to make. I actually wanted to make it for this. The whole stuck thing came about, led to this. I wanted to make a gelatinous cube from Dungeons and Dragons as a key because someone is making them and selling them on Etsy for $40, which it looks fantastic, but I don't need to spend $40 on something that's the size of a dice. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Decided to make my own.
Nice. People are on that. So that's really cool. It's like a whole new world just opened up.
Sorry, I kind of went on a ramble there.
I love it. I mean, the possibilities for resin are like endless. So please keep talking about resin and all the uses you come up with it or for it. Nice. Well, thank you for that. Hey, Marianne.
Hey.
For us this week.
All right. Well, when I thought of stuck, I went to stick. And I thought, I'll just go out and grab some sticks and hot glue gun them together and make a sculpture. But then it just looked like I went out and picked up a branch off the ground. So it wasn't really anything. So then I decided, well, I would stick with my sticks, but I decided I would do stock and make a tree and put in the tree everything that can get stuck in a tree. So I did a kite,
Yeah.
leaves, newspaper, a balloon, my cat, Stanley, who made an appearance last week as well. And yeah, so that was my my little stuck sculpture creation.
I love it. It's really cool.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Abby.
that's just really whimsical and pretty. And how
Yeah,
did you? What
and
did
it's
you?
just fun to have around.
Yeah, it's just it's pretty and really cool to have. How did you make the kite? I can't quite tell.
So let's see. I just got paper and put two ends together, like two, and so it's sort of falling out, and then just added a piece of embroidery thread and cut little pieces of colored paper to make sort of the tail of the kite. I did have to Google kites and get a good idea of what a regular kite looked like. But it's really funny. I went for a walk in Worcester Park last week, and sure enough, in the tree, there was a kite. So yeah. Oh, and there's a ball. I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of around the back.
I was starting to wonder what that was. So
Yeah, that's just a ball.
okay.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Just the Stanley, that's cracking me up.
yeah. I know, it's so great. I love him sitting up there, and he's just yeah.
Has
So
Stanley
fun.
been stuck in trees?
What's that?
Has Stanley been stuck in trees?
No, but I was just, sort of
That's good.
brainstorming everything you think of when you think of what can get stuck in a tree.
Yes.
And you hear the stories, the firemen coming to get the cat down out of the tree. So
Mhm.
yeah. So that was my I enjoyed this one. I like that, the stuck theme. Yeah.
How did you anchor it into the little container that you
Oh, so this is just like a toilet paper roll.
Oh,
And
cool.
then actually what I did was in the fall, the leaves were so gorgeous around here. So I was taking pictures of leaves.
Mhm.
And so I just printed out one of them that I had and just wrapped it around. And then I just printed out like the definition of stuck, past tense of stick, just in case people weren't getting it. So that was, that's how it all, and I've been looking, I would love to find like a beautiful piece of wood that I can anchor it to,
Mhm.
so that it's just a little steadier.
Mhm.
It's holding up pretty well though.
Nice. Oxford Dictionary art, vocabulary art. I love it. Yeah. That's what I'm going to be doing this week. Very cool.
Thank you.
Oh, just made me so happy.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see Stanley make an appearance again.
Yeah, this will probably be his last time.
Oh, famous cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, you guys, thank you. As always, I guess this is our final one for the year, which is kind of hard to believe because time flies when you're in a pandemic. And thank you for helping keep me so sane and so inspired and challenged every single week to I don't know, to be creative and to be more careful or to be more considerate of the way I do my work. Thank you for all the really cool, whimsical, beautiful things that you've presented. It's been a pleasure. And I will see you all in the new year, I suppose. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.